Hey guys, welcome back to the Wisdom Dollars podcast. It's your girl P, and today I got Luna Lark in the building.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but I feel fucking fantastic. How are you?
Good. Oh yeah, it's a little early. Where you at 11 a.m.?
I
Right?
maybe stayed up till 4 a.m. too.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing up so late?
Had a date. I went on a date.
Okay. Seems like that ended well. 4 a.m.
It
Okay.
did. It ended well.
Okay, good. So, how do you classify yourself as a cam girl, content creator, or porn star?
I just call myself a sex worker.
Okay.
That's like the general umbrella because I do all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do cam work, I do porn, I create content, I do phone sex. We do so many different things. I'm just like, don't be afraid to call yourself a sex worker.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
If
doing.
you're doing it all anyways.
Yeah.
So I see you have a chatterbait. Did you start off as a cam girl, or which
Yeah.
part of the sex industry did you start off in?
I started off as a cam girl in the pandemic. So like
Mm-hmm.
the week that we went into quarantine, I had been thinking about doing it and I had like a camera, I had my name, I had my account, and I was just like, am I gonna do it? I'm gonna not. And then the world was like, bye. And I was like, cool, I'll get
Yeah.
on cam and hang out with people.
Okay. How was that experience?
It kept me busy. It kept me busy learning everything. It was stressful at first to like deal with all the technology and figure out how everything worked, but it was really fun. Like it was fun to meet people and I had a blast. And I learned so much about myself and my body and you just like on this rapid fire like learning spree. I loved it.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. If you're gonna dive into sex work, I always recommend camming first because
Oh
it
yeah.
teaches you all those things. It teaches you how, because you're looking at yourself for hours on the screen. So how to pose on here, more about your body, and then learning how to use all those bots and stuff. You have to like
Oh
set
my
up to
god,
play the
right?
game.
And the boundaries of like having good boundaries with people,
Mhm.
because in this industry they will just take everything from you unless you're like, this is what I got.
So what do you, if they ask you to do something like, hey, I'll tip this amount for this, but you don't do it, how do you tell them no? Because a lot of people are afraid to say no, so they just do it and end up hurting themselves or just doing things that they're not comfortable with doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit older and so I feel like I've I've like essentially betrayed myself so many times in so many careers doing things that I didn't want to do, that didn't feel right,
Hmm.
that when I got into this, I was like, I can't do that, because if I do something that doesn't align with what I want to be doing, it's going to be so emotionally vulnerable and painful because I'm like naked and having sex that
Hmm.
I'll just burn out. So I kind of knew that going in, and I created a list of things that I didn't want to do and like a list of maybes.
Okay.
Um, and so usually I'm just trying to be really polite and like offer another solution, like, oh, I don't do that on cam, but we could do this instead.
Oh yeah.
Like creative solutions, right? Oh, what about this? I'm like, one time, so I don't do anal on camera just because I feel so vulnerable taking it up the butt.
Yeah.
Like it's so vulnerable. Not like I love it, I enjoy it, but sometimes I can't be filmed in that state.
Hmm.
And I did it one time on cam and it like was a little bit too big. And I just started crying and was like, no, sorry guys.
Yeah, those are always some fun problems. I haven't done any anal yet, but I was thinking about getting one of those cute little plugs because they're just so cute, like with the
Get
hearts
a
on the end.
vibrator. Oh yeah. Get a vibrator. Oh my God. The vibrations make it better, easier.
Okay, so then you're on cam, and then what do you venture into next?
So on cam, a lot of people like told me I should do porn, and I was like, I didn't even know I could do porn as a big girl. I started looking into these different companies and I was like, I want to do that. I want to have a fucking empire. And I decided I wanted to do it, but everything was still closed down a lot. And I didn't know how to get into it. I had emailed a company, but I didn't really hear back from them. And then when I was on cam, I actually would like seek out other cam girls just to be friends because you like don't have coworkers. You need
Yeah.
community. You need like sometimes you need someone to be like, what does my stream look like? How was your day?
Yeah.
So I found someone named Kendra Lee Ryan on cam who
Okay.
does porn. And I was like, hey, I see that you do porn. Do you have any advice? And she totally took me under her wing and like helped me get into the porn industry and like
Okay.
showed me the ins and outs. And it was really amazing. It was nice to have someone help me in that way.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So take us through your first day on set. What was that like? How were you feeling?
Well, it was actually nice because Kendra came with me. Like we drove from LA to Las Vegas to shoot for Plumper Pass.
Okay, yeah,
And
I've heard of them.
yeah, and it was really fun. She had a scene first and I got to watch her work. And so it was nice to be able to have someone that I trusted on set. And like, so I walk in and there's the male talent. He's super hot, but he has like headphones in. And there's like the producer just like on his computer in the corner. Like we talk about what we're gonna do. And I was super excited because there was a pool table.
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah, I think you should fuck yourself on the pool table. And I was like, with a pool cue? And he was like, and I was like, yeah, with the pool cue and the 8 ball. Like, and I was like, we're gonna sterilize it really well first. So they like did our hair and makeup. We did a couple scenes. We did the like pool cue scene. I got in the pool, and then Kendra and I did like a girl scene. But
Okay.
the best part was afterwards, I was like all ramped up, like, fuck yeah. Feel just so excited. We were in Las Vegas, so we went to the strip. We gambled. We got a little drunk. We talked to some girls. We talked to some guys. We got wild.
Oh, well, you had a good first experience then.
Oh yeah, it was so fun. We even like we got too wild. I got really wild in the car and was like took my pants off, was twerking, yelling out the window. The cops
Oh my
pulled us
goodness.
over. I was like, don't get me wild, you guys.
Oh Lordy. So do you find it that you prefer working for the companies or doing it independently? Or just a mixture of both?
Well, I love having creative control of everything,
Mhm.
but I also learn so much when I'm on a professional set. Like from the camera people to just the positioning and like how to angle your body correctly, right?
Oh yeah.
That that I don't know. I think they're invaluable in that way for me to learn. But then
Mhm.
I like having my creative control. So I like both, and I also like getting paid upfront for it.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's the thing about the companies. I think it's good, especially in the beginning, because it helps you get exposure. It
Oh,
helps you like
100%.
get a fan base. I mean, of course, you have your own from like Chatterbait and other sites, but people that just go directly into porn, it definitely helps you get a fan base by working for companies, and you get paid, upfront. And then once you got your name, it's like, hey, you're gonna get paid regardless because you got the fans that's gonna buy all the stuff.
Absolutely. I think of it as like I'm getting paid for marketing myself, like every time I work for even anyone I'm working with that has a following that is not my following, I'm getting marketing from it.
Yeah. Oh, the collabs. That's why um I like to tell people it's important to do like cross promoting and shouting out each other, and because like you said, we don't have coworkers.
Right.
So it's hard. So how has your process been through that? Have people been friendly or bitchy or
And most people have been really friendly.
okay.
Yeah. I know that there's like drama that happens, but I just try to like, I don't know. I try to come at it like I'm already friends with everybody
Mhm.
and just be open and as authentic as possible. Cause I feel like in this job, we get so much shit thrown at us. We don't need it from each other. I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, I don't want to be, and if you try to throw shit at me, I'm just gonna like be nice to you. Cause
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to play those games. I just like want to be friends and build each other up.
Yes, exactly. Especially it's 2022. One, there's room for everybody, all
Yeah,
shapes and sizes. Like, and we should be able to just cross promote with each other and build each other up, like you said. I definitely think that's
exactly.
like super important. So,
Exactly.
do you find that it's easier to make friends with porn stars or cam people? Or do you see a
Oh,
difference?
I don't know if I see a difference. Maybe the cam people
Mhm.
a little bit more. Most I think porn people I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, cam people I think tend to be, alone in their house, right?
Mhm.
And so they're really excited to meet other people who do it,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
right? And that's always fun. And so and you also like if you're working on a particular site, there's kind of like a camaraderie, right?
Oh,
Mm,
yeah.
where you feel like part of a family.
For sure. Have you gone out to any of the exoticas or expos or anything?
Yeah, so this year I went to Exotica Miami and New Jersey, and I
Oh,
just
okay.
went
How was
through.
that?
They were really fun. I loved them. I loved them. It was really fun to meet fans. I didn't think anyone would know me. Like a couple people recognized, and I was like, yeah. um, it was so much fun to like, especially to hang out with everybody, to have everybody in one space, to like shoot a bunch of content, to be working together. That feels so motivational and so much fun. I think of it as like porn star summer camp.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way to think of it because you can link up afterwards and shoot content, and then you're meeting all your fans there, taking a bunch of pictures, everybody sharing everyone. I think
Yeah.
I
And it's
haven't
like,
been yet.
oh, you should totally go. I suggest it. Hang out with people like I was this weirdo. Like I came up to someone I had never met in person and I was just like, "Hey girl," and talking to her like she's my friend. She doesn't even recognize me because I have a mask on.
Hmm.
I walk away and then she like Twitter messages me like, "Oh my God, that was you." And I was like, "Yeah, it was me." You know, it's like some random thing. Oh, whatever. I'll come up to you and just pretend we're friends because I know I follow you on the internet. Oh.
So, is there anything that you haven't shot that you want to shoot? Any type of content?
So much, so much. I want to shoot like full movies with a big
Okay.
plot.
Okay.
Uh I want to I want to shoot gangbangs for sure, but I want to have control over like everything in that scenario.
Hmm.
I want to shoot VR porn. Do you know about VR porn?
Okay, yes and no. Like I definitely want to dabble into it because I thought I came across this one VR cam site. But I guess maybe I lost her somewhere along the way. But I want to get into it, but I don't know much. Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know a ton either, and I'm trying to learn because the Oculus, the VR headset thing.
Hmm.
I watched some porn on that and I was like, oh my God. Exactly. You have a dick, which is a whole other experience. You look down and you have a dick, and there's this girl and she's sucking it and then she's fucking it and her titties are in your face. And you're like, this is amazing.
And it
I,
really feels like you're you're in there.
yes, it was amazing. And I was like, I don't want to watch any other porn now. This is all I want to do.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
gosh.
how can I do that? Because then I think, oh my God, what if you could do that with your favorite porn star? You can have virtual reality experiences, right? Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's out there. That should be a goal this year. Get into that because you've already
Yeah,
experienced, so you see like how much pleasure your fans would get out of it, feeling like they're really with you, not just getting a custom video or just watching you through a screen, but actually feeling like you're there.
exactly.
I'm sure that
So
brings
like,
a lot of money too.
oh, I know. I feel like it's just like we're just starting, and I think it's going to be really big. So I'm really excited. I'm
Oh yeah,
constantly.
me too. I love the way the technology goes. It's kind of scary, but it's kind of exciting and really cool.
You're like, this might ruin us, but it's really fun.
Exactly. So what's your favorite scene you've shot thus far?
My favorite scene so far. Oh, I'm trying to think. I really like my like it's the well, it was technically like the second scene that I ever shot on the pool cue on the pool table.
Oh, okay. What'd
I
you do
really
in that one?
well, I pretended to play pool, and then I was like, oh my god, do you like to watch my ass when I hit these balls? Do you like how I handle these balls? And then I took my clothes off and I get on the table and I like stroke the cue like it's a dick. And I'm like talking to the camera, like, oh my God, this is your cock. Oh, I like lick it. I'm getting all nasty. And then I fuck myself with it, which was so long. So like I'm fucking myself with a pool cue. And
That
then I
didn't
had
hurt?
that was so hard. Like trying not to hit the cameraman with it.
Oh lordy. That sounds like a
I
fun scene. But yeah,
know. I
he's
was like,
just having to get out the way because the stick's just going.
that's the nasty shit. But I also did recently with Booby University, we did a reverse gangbang with
Mhm.
him with like 5 women. Was it 4 or 5? I don't remember, but there's a bunch of us. And that was the best because he had us, I don't know, maybe you've done this. I found out the immense pleasure of like having my face next to my friend's face while they got fucked and being like,
Oh.
you're so beautiful when you get fucked. I love this so much. Like,
Yeah, I noticed I saw that. So it was you and the other girls, I don't know their names. It was like three
it
other
was
ones. What's his
Chanel,
okay, yeah, her. I followed
Chanel
her.
Barbie, Stella Daniels, Monique Leslie, and me. So 4.
Okay, so I follow you and the Chanel Barbie. That's her name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And she's the one who I got to like be like, you're so beautiful. I love watching you get fucked.
How was that? That I saw it on his Twitter. That's like over 100,000 views already just on Twitter. And
Yeah.
like it hasn't been that long since y'all did it. That's a lot. So how did that feel? Getting
Oh, it
all that
was great.
attention.
We had this weird thing happen. Finney and I shot back in like, I don't know, September.
Mhm.
And we made this dumb like 20-second video in the shower. And it got over 100,000 views on Twitter. And we were like, what? Why? I mean, this is great that it got 100K. But
Yeah.
then we're like, oh shit, we should shoot more together if this is the response. And so then we did that, and that was like 100K. And we were like, he texted me the other day and was like, we did it again.
Yeah. I noticed, I was like, but it was a lot of y'all in there. So how is it being with all the girls, just having one guy and just interacting with each other?
It was awesome. I feel like the more the merrier. And I love women. So I mean, I could say that I'm half gay, bisexual, pansexual. I love women. I love trans women. I love trans men. I like non-binary people. I like men. I don't really care. I just like
Just like it
people
all.
and genitals. I'm just a slut.
When's your birthday? I gotta know what sign you are.
December 3rd, I'm a
Oh,
Sagittarius.
I figured I was feeling Sagittarius vibes for sure. Yeah, I'm
What's your
the
sign?
the same. We're the same sign.
Oh, yes, nice. Exactly. You know.
I was like,
So
I'm
I don't
definitely feeling them wild, free spirit type vibes that
uh
sadness have. And then, another thing that I maybe want to touch on this, how is it getting into this industry being older? Because I didn't start till I was 29, 28, 29, somewhere
yeah,
around there. So I really appreciated not starting when I was 18 or 21 because, oh my gosh, like going into it at a older age in this industry, um, I loved it. I felt
yeah,
I felt better because I felt like I was more mature. I'm confident with myself at this age. I'm just like, whew, I tried the normal work thing. That's not what I want. So I appreciated coming into this. So how was your experience?
it was awesome. Like when I was 18, I had people approach me. I lived in Hollywood and I had people approach me about camming and porn. And I like just inherently knew for me, at that time, I couldn't keep myself safe. I'm super wild, but I was also a people pleaser. So I knew that I was just going to say yes to things when I really didn't want to.
Mhm.
And I felt like that was dangerous for me. So I'm really glad that I waited and it's also like you said, it's really nice because I have that real world experience working for companies, and I kind of built up what my professionalism looks like and what that means to me, and also an idea of success that is outside of everyone else's, right? Of like what is success to me,
Mhm.
and what feels good to me. And so I don't know, it's 100% works for me. Like I'm 37 and I know, like, I was like, I don't know how long I can do this, but I'm gonna do it
Oh, I
for
was gonna
however
say like
long.
33, 34.
I
That's
know
what
I look like a baby, but
Mhm.
mm, yeah, so I love it. I think it like has been really beneficial to be older and a little bit more mature.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in this because you will feel pressured into doing things that you don't want to do at a
Oh
younger
yeah,
age. I could see because it's like, oh, why don't you try this or why don't you do this? And you're just like, do I do it? Do I not do it? But at this age, you kind of be like, okay, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not willing to do that, but we can do this, or you know, I feel like that helps.
exactly. Boundaries, having your
Boundaries.
boundaries. No, and like, most of my boundaries were figured out by crossing them way too far and then being like, whoa, okay. The line was way back there. Not gonna do that again. That was like
So
what my 20s were for.
yeah, to make all your mistakes.
Yeah,
And then learn and catch up in your 30s because 30s is like it kicks you into gear and it's like, okay, come on, we got to do this, got to get to where you want in life, got to accomplish all this stuff. You get another like a boost or something when you turn 30 and it's like, okay, come on now, kick in the gear. So what do you want to what is like your next 5-year goals for yourself? Do you plan on staying in this? Do you want to do anything else? Start another
I
business?
do. I want to stay in this, but I also have so many other goals in my personal life.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I really want to do some sort of show. Like, I don't know if that is, everyone has podcasts. YouTube is on its way out. Like, what is that? What do I want to do? I want to do
Hmm.
something and I like being creative. So I'm not sure what that is. I also like, I have a degree in design, so I love creating art. And I want to make sure I do that for sure. And then I also am really spiritual, so like I want to do more. Like my huge goal is how do I merge sexuality and spirituality in this work? If that is through video work, if that is through like in-person classes, what is it? But like, how do we get away from the shame of sexuality and bring and like realize that our sexuality and sensuality can be like it's sacred.
Hmm.
right? It's sacred and beautiful and something to be celebrated, and delved into our deepest, darkest fantasies.
Yeah. Most healers in that world and what people don't realize are super sexual people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I definitely think there is the merge. I've gotten into, I don't know how far you go with spirituality, but I started maybe about 3 or 4 years ago when I really started believing like the law of attraction, and then
Uh-huh.
just get into like crystals and stuff, and like
Yeah,
crystals and wanting to, I think about that too, but I just don't know where exactly it's crossed.
exactly. And it's interesting because there's a lot of, there's the tantra community who I want to learn more, and I want to learn more about everything they do, but I also know that their philosophy is against porn and sex work. And so
Hmm.
it's like, how do we find a safe space for what we do and also with spirituality? It's constantly hard, right? And I feel like
Hmm.
we have to pave that way.
Yeah, and it's definitely time to start in this year for sure. Just
Absolutely.
because this world is like being a sex worker is like just more open these days, and then I feel like there's not enough communities to just get with more sex workers that are moms, or to get
Yeah.
um just being it be just being normal and just being to fit in with like regular society. I feel like that's hard with the spirituality and religious stuff and parenting and having friends and just like living a normal life outside of just other sex workers.
Yeah. It's like the humanization of sex workers. I think that's part of my favorite thing of being in a room full of sex workers is realizing how normal and average we are, how
Hmm.
many of us are moms, and we just live fucking normal ass lives, but we also just show our sexuality. That's it, you
Yeah.
know? And there's nothing weird about that. It's really normal too. And
Hmm.
it's so like refreshing to meet, and also it's empowering because here's like a group of these women who are providing for themselves and their family. You can make your own schedule. You're afforded so many more opportunities than if you were working a 9 to 5.
Hmm.
It's amazing, and like that should be celebrated, right? That should
Yeah.
be absolutely celebrated.
I agree. That's why when I meet other moms, and then if they're stoner moms, that's even better. But just like meeting other moms and stuff, because then you could talk about, the things that you go through, and it's like normal to them. Because if you're friends with, I don't know, someone working in an office 9 to 5, and you're telling them your complaints, and they just don't get it. Just
No.
it's a whole foreign world, but I can understand it because I was in that world from 17 to 28. So I get it. So I do understand their mindsets because I know what I would be like if I had a sex work. I mean, a Sagittarius, I was just more open, anyways. But just dealing with their problems, I probably wouldn't have understood 5, 6 years ago.
No, I feel the same way. And like, I understood to an extent, and I was a really open person. But like, part of this work, I felt like was peeling away layers of shame around sexuality that wasn't mine.
Hmm.
It was just, and it like just keeps going into new, and you're like, wow, wow, I didn't even realize that was a judgment on myself and others. And like, and so I think this work can be so incredibly healing because we have to deal with that
Hmm.
constantly. And then we have to be strong enough to deal with other people's judgments about it.
Yeah, for sure. Have you had to go through that with your family or friends? Have you
Uh,
touched
My
on that?
friends, a little bit, not too bad though.
Okay.
Most of my friends and my family are really supportive. Some people don't know, but I'm out to the majority of people. And then there are some times when, something will be said and you're like, ew, but it's also okay because they don't 100% understand. And then
Mhm.
there are other people who are just like so amazing and lovely and supportive and just like, I think this is great. I'm so proud of you. And that I love that I'm able to have at least some of that.
Yeah. That's definitely a good feeling. How do you feel with people or what do you think the biggest misconception is of people who aren't in this industry towards people that are in this industry?
Um, well, I think that sometimes they think we're horny all the time. Just like walking around, ready to go, want to fuck constantly. And then like the thought that we don't just have normal lives, like we're
Mm,
not just turning off the kid, I don't know what they think we're doing, but there's like I think sometimes people put us on a pedestal, which I think happens with any sort of notoriety. Anytime someone is on the internet or on Instagram or on TV, there's like a level of like untouchability.
mhm.
And so they put you on a pedestal, um, which I mean, I kind of enjoy sometimes. Like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, finally you see that I'm a goddess.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's constant. Like, I think of it as like if you see a person in a movie, right?
Mhm.
The separation that person's personality isn't necessarily like the role they're playing. They're playing a role, which doesn't mean that it's inauthentic. It's play, right? We're
Mhm.
playing roles. Like I'm not
Mhm.
always that sexual. I have to get into that headspace, and I'm playing. It's part, and that's fun for me, right? I like to do that play, but 100% I'm not always like that. I'm like, actually in my personal life, I'm not shy, but like if a hot guy looks at me on the street, I'm like, oh, and I'm not like, hey, I'm like, oh my God, he looks at me. What do I do?
Yeah, that's just the awkward side coming out.
Right?
So awkward when people are trying to flirt with us. It's like, all right, but
I
for work, it's one thing because you're acting and it's fun and you already
Yeah,
know what you're there for. But just in a regular life, it's like, oh,
I know. I don't, I wonder, I'm like, why do I get so awkward and weird? Why is that so hard to flirt people? Like they look in you in the eye and you're like, oh my God. Ah, what do I
exactly.
say? How do I say that I like you?
All right. So, is there anyone you haven't worked with yet that you're wanting to work with this year?
Let's see. I
Girls
have a
or
list.
guys?
I'm trying to remember. I have a list of people I want to work with. Um, I want to work with, okay, all the girls. Let's list them down. I want to work with Crystal Blue, with Ash Lauren, with Brianna Kahlo. I want to work
Crystal
with,
Blue's so cool.
I know, she's so cool. I've hung out with her just for a little bit and I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
Tiffany Starr for sure. I really want to meet Tiffany if we're not working together. Um, Guys, I want to work with, what is it? Mazzy the goat. Do you know who this
Okay.
is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's hot. I kind of have a crush. Like other dudes, I honestly, there are some guys I want to work with, but in my like dream of dreams, I want to find some random talent who just like comes over to my house and we shoot content all day. He's my content boy.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
who that is, but maybe one day.
See, I was kind of thinking that though with a girl.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if I had a girl that lived close by and we were kind of both on the camming and doing Skype shows and making content together, and like they could just work all day with me because I could be a workaholic, I must say.
Yeah,
To just work and get so much content cross around each other. I really feel like if I just have one solid girl, we could definitely grow like a lot together.
absolutely. And that's the hard thing, right? Is that we all live so far away from each other.
Hmm.
I'm
Where are
like,
you
how
at?
do we?
You're in
I'm in
Vegas?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, where are
See, now
you?
I have a reason to come there. I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been wanting to come to Seattle.
Oh, you should come. You have
Yeah.
a place to stay if you come.
All right. Cool, cool. So is there anything that you're promoting right now or just want to give a shout out? I'm gonna definitely put all your links below so they can go click them and subscribe. But
Oh,
is there
thank
anything,
you.
any projects or
Um,
anything you're working on?
I was like, I don't even know. Everything got put off because of COVID.
Hmm.
But I'm always coming up with new things. Check out my OnlyFans. That's the best place to reach me and get all of my content
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
All right. We'll put the links down there below.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me so much. It was wonderful to meet
Yeah, for sure. It was nice to meet you too.
you.